Hey, what's going on, people? In this video we're counting down the top 10 most annoying bosses to farm in Borderlands 3. The struggle is strong with this one, so let's crack into it. First up, the Rampager, who you fight in the Forgotten Basilica. Why you'd be farming them, I don't know. They drop some of the worst weapons in the game. You have the Duck and the Good Juju. None of them are even A tier. If you want to suffer through 2 long immunity phases where all that happens is have the boss scream at you, then this is top tier stuff. A lot of the time you'll find the immunity phases are actually longer than the fight itself, which is never a good thing. However, the one saving grace for the Rampager is that you can use the Blade Fury to damage him during the immunity phases, and you're also presented with a chest room after you kill him. Speaking of which, if you teleport through the portal as soon as you kill him, he'll be back when you return, which makes it a little bit better, but honestly I would not recommend this farm to anyone. Next up, Anointed X-4, who you can find around here in the Anvil as part of the Malevolent Practice quest. This farm isn't so bad for the individual you're fighting, but rather what you'll most likely be after. And that's a boom sickle, a rare version of the sickle, which is exponentially harder to get. If you can knock off Anointed X-4 quickly, then farming a boom sickle is a lot less painful. But if you don't, bad guys will spawn, and I'm not talking about the animals in the animated movie. No, these ones will shoot at you and make your time farming that boom sickle a whole lot more annoying. Time now for the Agonizer 9000, who you fight right at the end of the Guts of Carnivora. Generally, I have no qualms with the Agonizer 9000, I shoot them a lot for clips, and that part I find enjoyable, but the part I don't find enjoyable is farming for a backburner, which strangely enough has one of the worst drop rates in the entire game, and it's one of the best weapons. Gearbox, why you do this? On Mayhem 6 or above, its drop rate sits at 6.9%. 6.9? Oh, I see why they do this. It all makes sense. Never mind, on to the next one. Now for Hemovorous the Invincible, you fight around here in Darkthirst Dominion as part of the Director's Cut. Hemovorous is a raid boss and therefore has a lot of health. Doesn't start that way though, as you're first greeted by a humble little Varkid who will continue to pop into their pods, getting stronger each time they do so. At the end you're met with the behemoth of a Varkid along with a friend. Man, they grow up so fast. Unfortunately, they'll still remember that you tried to kill them, making for a battle of the ages. What you'll still be farming for hours down the track is a Company Man, an artifact that boosts the stats of a specific manufacturer. With all the manufacturers and its own roles along with the passives, there's a lot of RNG there, which means you'll be farming Hemovorous for years. On the bright side, it does drop 100% of the time, and if you don't kill the friend I was talking about earlier, you can repeat the farm without having to spend any more Iridium. Time now for Phoenix, who you fight around here in the Splinterlands. What's more annoying than having to kill an enemy once? Killing them twice. What's more annoying than killing an enemy twice? Killing them 3 times. Yes, oh my gosh, you got it right. For this farm, that's exactly what you'll be doing, as you'll be fighting a Phoenix, which unfortunately rises from the ashes. Twice, for some reason. Like with the Rampager, this farm is a lot of waiting around. And it's made even worse by the fact that you're likely farming them for a deathless artifact. Artifacts with their RNG aren't the nicest things to farm for, and having a boss that you have to kill 3 times to maybe get 1 of what you want just ain't cool. At the midpoint now, and it's time for halfway through Harker. You fight during Arms Race in the Stormbind complex. It's not necessarily that heavyweight Harker is annoying to farm, but that Arms Race is annoying to farm. Forget the chests, we're talking about the boss. It's the same meat in a different sandwich. The problem is you have no control over what you get when you're going in there. If you haven't prayed to RNGesus for a while, then you're not going to have a great time in Arms Race. The key is to spend as little time as you possibly can on getting the equipment you need to take down heavyweight Harker, and even then he's probably not going to give you what you want. It's a shame he dropped some of the best items in the entire game. I mean, if that wasn't the case, would we ever find ourselves blowing his brains out? No. Now onto Locomobius, who you fight around here in Sapphire's Run. Most of these farms so far have been pretty easy to set up, with a spawn point nearby or a clear path to the boss. This one, however, is not clear at all. Going back to get gameplay, I have to admit I was lost. There's no logical path through the map. You have to use jump pads and portals to get where you're going, and it took me 5 minutes to get there. It would probably take me 5 minutes again, even having done it recently. When you're there, you can start farming, and what you're most likely farming for is a Hustler class mod, Zane's top tier class mod, for his 4th skill tree thanks to a racer. When you're there, you're probably going to be there a while, not only to get the item you're wanting, but to avoid having to run through Sapphire's Run again. Both of those things combined make this a farm I don't look forward to. Moving on to Scourge the Invincible Martyr, the final boss of the Guardian Takedown. Now I realize that can be a trigger word, Guardian Takedown, so I'll try not to say it too much in this video. For those uninitiated, the Guardian Takedown is the single hardest piece of content in the entire game, and don't worry if you don't have DLC, you can do it. Yay! If you manage to get through the first boss, complete all crystal puzzles, and get through the invisible jump puzzles without falling off and starting again, then you'll be greeted with this boss fight. You'll be farming them for guns like the Globetrotter, Smog, or I guess Web Slinger if you want to act like Spider-Man, and the first two are great. The boss fight is interesting, there's immunity phases but they're with purpose. It's just all the objectives you need to complete leading up to the fight, which can be annoying, taking you 30 minutes on average to even get there. Now to Scourge's sister, Anathema, who you fight yes in that place. Anathema is just ridiculous. I don't know why she has so many immunity phases. Maybe it was in her contract, but there's 9 of them. They must have paid her well, I guess. Each immunity phase will see a blast radius expand from where you killed her, forcing you to use the jump pads to get onto another platform. But hey, these other platforms could also have a bomb about to detonate, so you need to pick the right one to jump to and time it right so you don't blow up. I guess Gearbox really wanted to hammer that home by having you do it 9 times, but seriously, it's unnecessary. You're gonna have to do it though if you want to get a Stinger, which is the peak melee shield, and she also drops the Lightspeed Grenade mod, which is pretty unique in itself. Before we lift the curtain on number 1, I wanted to mention something honorably, and that's my boy Captain Traunt. You fight at the end of Athena's. Now Captain Traunt isn't an annoying farm, he's actually my best friend, but if you're after a Cowson, he won't be. It's difficult to get the right one in the first place, but thanks to the Dial Curse, you can get what appears to be the right one, but it won't even be fully automatic. If that happens to you, stay strong. It's okay to cry. Number 1, we're here, we made it, and it's none other than Evil Lilith, who you fight around here in the top of Castle Crimson. Get to high ground is similar to Locomobius in the fact that you have to run a long way to get to the farm point, and when you get there you're greeted with someone that's angry, someone that you talk to through the whole game, someone that likes to be in an immunity phase for an hour. Guys, I know it's been a long day. Either way, this farm is annoying. The immunity phase lasts for 25 seconds, and she has way more health than she has any right to have. To top it all off, when you're farming her for a blood-starved beast, you'll probably get the one you're after in 3-round burst and semi-automatic, which is always fun. I mean, that didn't happen to me here, but that's because you're subscribed and your subscription gives me strength.